says aim's real big.
Hi everyone, I'm out here in Monroeville, Pennsylvania, and as requested by some people for me to do a then versus now series on the channel, I'm still trying to figure out how I would do. I guess then versus now would be one way to put it, but I like to do updates basically, and I guess that's what they are. But I'm out here at Toys R Us. This Toys R Us closed up in 2018. If you're not familiar with the chain, they were a big national chain of toy stores, and they filed for bankruptcy in 2017 and closed a bunch of stores earlier in the year. There was a wave of closures. My location, the Ross Township one, was on that initial wave of closures before the rest of the chain would close later in the year. They originally filed for Chapter 11, closing the first wave of stores, and when they still weren't able to recover, went with Chapter 7 and liquidated all assets in the United States. Now, in other countries like Canada, Toys R Us is still doing quite well. And I know you're probably going to say, well, Toys R Us still exists today in 2024 in Macy's. Well, that might be technically true and all. It's not Toys R Us. And, you know, I visited the Toys R Us at the American Dream out there in New Jersey, and it was a great store, but it wasn't Toys R Us like I grew up with, like this one. And I actually frequented this one a lot. A friend of mine was one of the managers here and would let me get the pickings with the Hot Wheels cars before the scalpers would come in, pick them all up, and then resell them on eBay or at flea markets, etc., for utterly ridiculous prices. So, the thing is, with the Toys R Us inside of Macy's, I don't really consider it Toys R Us at all. I consider it more of like a marketing scheme. I feel like Macy's knew that they could, or thought that they could, improve their sales by marketing Toys R Us inside of their stores to get foot traffic in there. So, and other people I've talked to have said the same thing. It's a joke. It's just their toy department labeled as Toys R Us. Anyway, I'm not trying to say anything mean, but that's just my opinion on it. And if Toys R Us was to really come back, they would have to do it like this, with these big brick and mortar stores like we used to have, and like Canada still has. And once I can get my passport and get up to Canada, I'll happily film one or two of them up there. I know there's one that my good friend Anthony of Ace's Adventures checked out years ago, and I would love to see it for myself. As for this one, though, since it closed in 2018, absolutely nothing has happened with the building, and it's just been sitting here left to rot and slowly been getting more and more vandalized, and I'll show you what I mean. So let's jump out of the car into the 95-degree heat and humidity and check it out. All right, there it is, Toys R Us. See boards over a few of the windows now. Stars have been taken, because I notice all the stars are gone except for the ones right above the doorway that people probably couldn't get to, or they just happen to fall and it's just coincidence. But anyway, the stars are gone except for a few. And you might see these cars out here too. There is a Kia dealership literally right there, and they use this as an overflow lot for their cars that they're selling or working on, like some of these back here. And there will be days that I come by here, and the last time I was out here, this lot was completely filled with cars. And before you think, oh yeah, well, this is a free-for-all here, there are cameras here, not only to keep an eye on the building, but the cars here as well. There's one there, and there's one there. So if you come here with any bad intentions, you're going to have a bad day. And I'm just here to photograph and film this place and basically do this update 6 years after the company went belly up and closed down all operations in the United States before becoming a hybrid store at the American Dream Mall and that little thing they tried to do inside of Macy's. I like this store. A friend of mine that worked here, you know, he'd always let me know when the new ones would come in and see if anything was in the back room. for me to check out. And you can see people got in there over time and graffitied all over the walls. Now, how long ago that was, I don't know. Keep in mind, these the boards look relatively new. And it's just a shell of itself in there. There's nothing left in there, just the floor. Poles, just graffiti everywhere. Nothing worth seeing in there, really. There's a star. That's what distracted me when I was looking through the door at first. There's a star and then a paper wasp. Great. And it's not one of the stars that was hanging off of the building, I don't think. And it's a shame that people have to vandalize and break things. They used to have stuff all over the glass so you couldn't see inside at all. I mean, you see how they put stuff on here. And whatever it was scraped off. So I know it's relatively hard to see in there. And over here, on this side of the building, they have some vehicles parked over here. The salt spreader. When this store was liquidating back in 2018, they had a big banner right here. You can still see the scarring from it, from the bolt marks and where it was. It was right here that said store closing or going out of business. I ended up getting that. For whatever reason, I got that and took it home. And it was nice and rolled up in the car and didn't take up much space. And then when I unrolled it in my mom's backyard, I realized, oh my gosh, what doesn't look very big up on that building is huge. It's probably over 60 feet long, 50 or 60 feet long, and took up the entire length of the backyard. I mean, it would be great for a slip and slide, and it's still over rolled up in my mom's basement anyway. The old picnic table here for employees to go on lunch or take a smoke break. This was their garbage area here. I think they had another one upstairs, though. I'll show you around the back of the building. This might make, this was electrical, that's right. Okay. And they put that there so people don't go in there trying to steal the copper and pull a rolling acres. Anyway, let's go around to the other side and check it out. I just think of people that go in there and vandalize. You have to be a real idiot to do something like that out here, especially in a lot where they have all these new cars and cars that are being worked on, used cars, etc. It's not like there's not high security here. There is, and hence the boards that aren't that old on the building. And I mean, I get it. People can go around the back, and I'll show you what I mean. That seems to be the area that's not monitored much, but there are cameras back there, so... again, my purpose of this video is just to take a walk down memory lane. I'm not here to cause any harm or trouble or damage like some people decide they need to do. But let's take a look through the window over here real quick, and then we'll go walk around up the hill to the back of the building where the receiving area was, where the loading docks and everything were, and we'll check it out back there before wrapping up. What a sight for sore eyes. I was out here a few weeks ago. Yeah, look at all that busted glass everywhere. So unnecessary. Looks like some water damage by the front door there. The floor looks a little eh. I know some of the carpeting is gone, and people broke the windows out there too because they don't have any respect. This is where the trucks would go up. They'd go up this way here to the dock behind, and I don't even know if I want to come back here without the car. I think I'd rather drive, but that's all right. I'll take my chances. It wasn't long after the store closed that the customer pickup signs were stolen from the back of the building. So I remember asking if I could buy one, and they said they couldn't sell them. And I don't ever remember seeing them get tossed in the dumpster out here in the back. And they stayed there for a little bit after the store closed and then magically disappeared. And you could tell like they were pulled out of the frame. The frames were bent and stuff. the old embossed no parking sign there. That's old. And because of the topography, that's a word I haven't used, this goes uphill behind the store. Now here's where customer pickup was, and you can see all the graffiti here. The signs were right up here, gone. And the last I checked, you could get in through this doorway, but I'm not doing that because I don't want to get in trouble because it's watched. There's even a camera on the roof facing the roof near the air conditioner. Weird. But I'm not here to do that. There's one right there too. And the dumpster, when they were liquidating, was lined up right here to this last. It was either that one or that one, but they had a big dumpster here, and that's where they were just tossing everything you could think of. Bags, boxes of plastic bags got thrown in there, signs, fixtures, unsold merchandise, even though they sold basically all of it. What they didn't sell, they just tossed. Because I remember taking a peek into the dumpster out of curiosity and saw all that. There's even an old Dick's Sporting Goods shopping cart up here for whatever reason. But yeah, you can see how people had to vandalize and just destroy what's not theirs. Six years gone. Trucks would have a heck of a time turning around in here. Get one of those 53-footer trucks in here, come in, they got to make a big turn. I mean, you can see the big tire tracks. I'm sure that's from people like me driving around here, because I drove through here when I was here a few weeks ago. Just because, you know, the old saying, curiosity killed the cat. I drove up here to see how it looked. And that's when I could tell that door was cracked open and you could get in. And I'm pretty sure that it's been secured now. I don't want to find out. I don't want to be a troublemaker at all, which I'm not. Just a retail nerd. That's what I am. It's hard to believe. It's been so long now. A lot of things have happened since 2018. Wow. I look back over all that time, all the things that has happened, all the places I've gone, people I've met, friends I've made, all of you guys here watching the video. It's amazing what YouTube has done, because 2018, I was a nothing, a nobody, and I still consider myself that. I'm just a 9-to-5 guy that has fun doing YouTube and putting all these videos together. I'm nothing special. I'm not. And I look back now. Back then, I only had a couple thousand subscribers. Now I'm on the cusp of 66,000. And all the states we've been to, all the places we filmed over all that time, it's been a dream. It's been a dream come true. And I can only hope at this point that one day I'll hit 100,000 subscribers and get that coveted play button. But if I never do, I don't care. It's been such a heck of a ride. I'm grateful to have done everything I've done so far, and I'm not stopping anytime soon. This channel is going to continue to grow as long as I'm alive and able to do it, and I have the passion to do this, because if I don't, I'm not going to do it. And as you can tell, I upload videos almost every single day, so definitely going to keep doing what I love as long as I love doing it, and trying to provide entertainment for you guys or make your day a little bit better, if by nothing else, by having you laugh at me for being such a dork. But anyway, that was Toys R Us. This was one that I went to for most of my life. Even though the Ross Township one was closer, my parents would bring me out here from time to time when we would go over to the Monroeville Mall, which isn't that far from here. It's right over the hill there and behind all those buildings where you can't see it. But we'd come here, and then when I got my license and was able to drive my first car, which was an 83 Cutlass, I came out here, went to the mall with my friend Dan, and oh, we'd have some good times Friday nights out here, going in here, going to the mall, catching a movie. And then we all grew up. He got married to a wonderful lady named Brittany, and they moved to Florida. And those are the friends I mentioned that had the house, or her mother had the house fire. So yeah, it's just good times, and that's why I do this. It's just a step back in time. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap up the video now. I do thank you for watching. Can't help but feel a little sad with everything that I've been able to accomplish on this channel. I'm just thinking back to my childhood and teenage years and coming out here, and man, those were the days. To think I've come to this store with multiple different cars that I've owned, or if I drove my parents, the CRV, the Sebring, the Z24, even though I don't think I ever did a video with the Z24 here. The B. Drove the Cutlass here when the store was open, and the Beretta Z26 that I had many, many moons ago. Where did all that time go? And soon I'm going to have another car here. I'm keeping the B. The B is still car number one. I'm just getting another car that's going to be ultimately the replacement for this. I got it for a heck of a deal and couldn't pass it up, so making payments on it. I have to go get it out of South Carolina, though. It's your grocery getter, so it'll get the job done. And hey, as long as his B friend still keeps trucking, we're gonna still keep on making memories. So anyway, I'm just blabbering on. I appreciate y'all watching. If you enjoyed the video, give the video a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, I would love for you to subscribe and be alerted for new content and help make this channel grow, and maybe, just maybe, one day hit 100K. It's within reach at this point, I feel, but it's still a long ways to go too. But if it never happens, I'm grateful for you guys and where we're at now, so, and where we'll be in the future. Anyway, now that the emotions have all kicked in, have a great day, everybody. Take care and stay awesome. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.